Christy Wengranowski from the Flying Horse Design Studio. She has been my branding go-to gal since, a long while now. And she has come up with this amazing opportunity for us to really look at our brand and see the pieces that may be missing and start to just section some time away for ourselves to be able to fill in those gaps. So without any further delay, here is Christy.
Hi, everybody. So I do see a few familiar faces out there. It's nice to see you guys and meet some new people as well. I'll be totally upfront. I have never done a workshop before. It's something I've always wanted to do. I've done a few speaking things over the past few years. Actually one at an event Dara did a few years ago, and I really liked it. But one thing I found I was missing was engagement. And I've been thinking for years and years, how do I get engagement so that people get value out of this? So obviously being this crazy year, one of the biggest things we've done is help people with their pivoting. Some people have needed to move more online. I heard somebody already say that, you know, they had to go to more of an online kind of thing. And so it's been important, especially in the online world, to really go and revisit what you're putting out there so that people know what's going on, what you're doing, who you are, because you don't get the opportunity to go to the networking events the same way as you used to, or meet people for coffee. So I do this for people. I do a complete audit for people. I go through all of their stuff. It's something that I've always offered, but I'm now trying to empower people to do it themselves. Again, it's been a weird year, and if we all set aside the time, it's not hard to do. It's one of those things you'll probably have to get some people to help you implement things, but it's not hard for you to go through and assess your own self. It's just a matter of making the time to do it, which we as business owners always have a hard time with. As my business coach always tells me, we need to spend more time working on our business than in our business sometimes, so that we can make sure that we move forward and grow our businesses, whether you're a one person show or if you've got a team like I do. So basically, what we're going to do tonight is just kind of go through some very basic exercises. I'm going to give you a few moments to fill things out so that you can kind of start the process for yourself. The middle part of it will take some time, so I don't expect that we're going to get through all of it tonight, but at least it'll get you starting to think, and then you can go back to it when you do have the time and kind of say, okay, I'm going to spend X amount of time right now to finish up this particular section. I'll also share a little bit about what I've done for myself this year, just so that you guys have an example. I know I learn best when someone kind of says, and here's an example of how you do this. That's me, and everybody's different. So I'll show you guys that way, and hopefully that works for you as well. Quick little background on me. I have been in graphic and web design and development since about 2002. I've been in business for myself since 2004, which is crazy to think that 16 years I've been working for myself. It doesn't feel like that long ago. I love helping entrepreneurs, and I also love helping marketing managers. Those are my two go-to people. I love seeing entrepreneurs build their businesses and being a part of that. And I also love helping marketing managers in their role, taking some of the stress off of their day-to-day so that they can just entrust my team to look after their graphic and web design needs. I have worked with a couple of people, obviously Adara and I've worked together for years, and also Cynthia and I have worked together for a number of years as well. And so I'm really glad they're both here as well. They can kind of share their experience if they want. Okay, so I did put together a little PDF. You don't need that printed out, of course. I just thought it might be helpful for people to follow along. I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll just kind of go through everything piece by piece. All right. Okay, I'm not a PowerPoint user, so let's see how this goes. Okay, so I'm calling this the business brand breakthrough because I really do think having a breakthrough is what you do when you sit down and you kind of go through all of the things and you start to have these aha moments. One of my aha moments was even creating this. So, oh, and okay, now I just got to remember how to use PowerPoint here. There we go. Okay, so obviously the flying horse represents to me is getting to new heights. When I split from having a business partner to doing this on my own, the horse with wings represented taking flight into that next part of business. So really, I've kind of put a lot of play together, thanks to Adara for her help on that, on bringing in the flying, the horse, the country-esque side of the business. So again, to start off, as business owners, we all know that in order to run a successful business, we must also work on and in our business. Really important to do both. Otherwise, we get ourselves into trouble. The goal of tonight is to do an inventory of all our marketing and messaging tools that we use. And believe me, sometimes you won't even realize there's certain ones that you hadn't even thought about. When I did this for myself, I went, oh, I didn't think about that. Then we're gonna step into actually doing a little bit of the audit. That's the part that's going to take the longest. And then we'll start to create a checklist to help you gain clarity on what steps you can do yourself. And then by the time everything is done, you'll be able to address what actions need to take place, whether it's something you do or something you ask somebody else to do for you. Okay, so the first thing is very, very simple, and I'm gonna give you guys 60 seconds to write this down. So I'm gonna pull up my timer here. I want you to make a list, not quite yet, or you can start, of the types of marketing tools or even the groups that you belong to that you currently have in your life. And all of them, whether you use them or not. So for me, I have my website, I have my business cards, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Alignable. I forgot about that one until tonight. So it shows you how much I use it. I'm in a reset group. I'm part of the Light Leaders group, and I'm part of the Chamber of Commerce. I also use MailChimp. So I'm gonna give you guys 60 seconds to start writing your list out, all of it, everything you can think of. I wish I had the Jeopardy music right now. So we're at about 30 seconds right now. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop the timer before it makes a loud noise. Okay, so that's the first part, pretty easy. Again, I had to kind of think really hard about it because I had forgotten about a few things that really are part of how I market my business. Because it's not just things like your website and your brochures or whatever. It is also the groups that you belong to, because networking is a big part of how we market. Okay, so the first part of number 2 step of doing your audit is very, very simple. Now you could write out a list of the marketing tools that you are actively using, or you could just star your original list. I would suggest just starring, okay, these are the ones, or you could order them. I use this one the most, whatever. So that, I'll give you just a couple of seconds to star the ones that you are actually using, or else just kind of put an X by the ones you're not. That might be an easier thing to do. I'll let you quickly do that. Okay, so this is where the biggest part of the audit comes in. So we will spend a little bit more time on this. I'm going to share a little bit first about what I've done for myself. I had to do this whole process this year. I thought that I kind of had it figured out and things were good. And then again, realized I needed to do a lot of work myself. So we spent a fair amount of time on our own website talking. I booked some time with Adara because, hey, you know what? She can see things differently from how I see them, so why not? And we made a lot of progress talking together. So what I do in my audits for people, and what you can do for yourself, is to actually review the different pieces. So anybody that actually, or that did, sorry, print off the list, you'll see there's a part that says step 2 review, and there's letters A through H. So letter A, the biggest thing is to actually say, okay, what do I no longer do? And again, this is going to take some time to do, but you could probably jot down a few things. So when I reviewed my website, one of the things I really wanted to kind of focus on is finding all the things that I don't currently have on my website and the things that I currently do have on my website that are not where they're supposed to be. And so, for example, when I talk to clients, they might say, oh, I offer Reiki, and I offer massage, and I offer tarot card readings, and I also offer a meditation class. And so when we look at that, we say, well, actually, I don't really like doing the meditation class anymore. Well, why is it still on your website? So there's things like that where we want to say, let's not offer and promote the things that we don't really enjoy doing or that don't bring us joy. Because as women in business, we want to be joyful for what we do. That translates to our clients and the work that we can do for them. So that's the first thing. What do I no longer do that is on my website, in my brochure, on my sell sheet that I hand out, maybe listed on somebody else's website even. So that's a simple thing to kind of go through. The next thing would be, is there anything listed that I don't want to do anymore? So I have a graphic designer friend down the hall. For years, she said she did websites, but she had somebody that helped her do it. Now she's just doing things herself and doesn't know how to build websites, but she kept them on her website. So people would come and say, oh, I need a logo and a business card and a website, and she'd panic. So if you don't want to do websites, don't do them. Don't advertise them. Send them to someone who loves doing them. And it's that simple, because if you don't love doing it, you're not going to put your heart and soul into it. You'll resist it, and inevitably it'll make you miserable. So all that stuff that you don't want to do or that you don't enjoy, get it off of your marketing pieces. Make sure you find where all those are and then kind of say, that's got to go. The next biggest thing is, are you missing anything that you need to promote? This was huge for me this year. I really like to promote myself as your in-house, out-of-house design team. So one of the things we really want to kind of get into our circle more is being on like a retainer with certain clients, not all of them, just some of them, where they can say, okay, you know what? We need 30 hours every month of your time versus having a full-time employee. And so we have a couple clients like that, but I don't say that on my website. And that's something I really enjoy doing and my team really enjoys doing. From a business standpoint, it's also consistent income. And in business, we know that things ebb and flow. So to have those retainer-based clients is really good for cash flow, really good for building the repertoire. Plus the client gets the benefit of having sort of the priority because they essentially pre-bought your time. So I had to get clear on exactly how I wanted to put that out on my website, get it on the website. The other thing that I realize is I really love working with one woman or one man shows. So that could be, let's say, a massage therapist that has a home office and she or he has been doing it for, let's say, 5 years, is doing great, loves it, has a great client base, but never really got around to, making a logo for themselves or getting business cards. They kind of did, oh, I'll just get these quick ones from Vistaprint or Staples. And now people are saying, well, I can't find you online, or it's really hard. I'm only finding you on, 10 pages into Yelp. And so I wanted to really be able to help those people by offering a package that was catered to a small business and that was affordable, especially this year. And so that wasn't on my website. Why not? These are the people I help. So we did this exercise and got it all up there. So big, important thing. If there is something new that you're doing, maybe you're doing a workshop or a course, and if it's not on your website, it's not working for you. Here's a big one. Is the contact information current? And that's across the board. If you're handing out business cards that have an address on them from 2 offices ago or your old home, probably not the best thing if people need to come to you. So checking all the areas if that's current. Another big one, is there any misinformation? So one of the things we get asked to correct all the time on websites specifically is someone once wrote, we've been in the business for 25 years. But actually it's 35 years now. So sometimes it's better to say since 1991 or something like that. Or if you've now upped your designation. So, if you had your BA, but now you have all these other designations that are important, we need to add that sort of stuff. Again, the other thing is too, if you're not allowed to do certain things, naturopathic doctors have had a hell of a time this year. They're not allowed to have testimonials online. They're not allowed to say certain words. And so just checking for that stuff so you also don't get into trouble, depending on what industry you're in. Another very big one, and Linda's gonna love this one. Are your photos current? Having a photo of you 10 years ago doesn't do you justice. I don't look the same, and I'm guessing none of you do either. I still think I look pretty good, but my hair is a different color. I wear it differently. I have different clothes. I want people to see me as I am today, no matter what. Because if I do meet them face to face or even on Zoom, I want them to be like, right, that's the girl that I saw. So don't underestimate the importance of good photos and current photos. Linda can maybe speak a little later on how often is a good idea to get them, but definitely don't leave it for 5 or more years. The other big thing to do with all of your materials is to decide, do you even like them? Are you just handing out those brochures because you printed too many of them and that's all you have? Or are you really excited to hand out that brochure at a trade show and say, like, I love giving this. You should love giving out your materials. I love giving out my business card. So if you don't really like how things look, it's not a bad idea to start to make note of what things you could change. Obviously, web is really important right now, but you still are going to need some of those print things, even though we're not doing as much in-person things. And of course, the biggest one, which is where most of the auditing is done right now, is on your website and social media. So who has a website that doesn't work on mobile? It's a big thing nowadays. Most of us do look on our phones. I'm on a computer all day, so I look on the computer most of the time. But in the evening, I don't have a computer at home. That's on purpose, by the way, so that I actually stop myself from working. So yeah, you got to look at those things. Does it work on a phone? Is it problematic? Do all the links go to the right places? So we don't like broken links. Are there images that are missing? Show those ugly little X's. Do all the pages go somewhere? Are there any bugs? Going through and actually looking through every page on your website. How often do we look at our own website? Not very often. So all of these things are really important to just go through and take a little bit of time and start making that little audit. It could take you 30 minutes. It could take you 3 hours, depending on how many things you actually have. If you have like 7 brochures and like 3 handbooks and an ebook, that's going to take you a little bit longer than if you just have a business card, a website, social media, etc. So this exercise, again, I would allow yourself some time to go through. We can spend a few minutes now and just, I would think, maybe talk about it versus, getting too into it. I'll just go over the last little piece for consistency, and then I'm just going to actually see if anybody has any thoughts they'd like to share. The last thing in sort of the audit is consistency. So do all of your tools match? Do you have the same logo on everything? I have a huge pet peeve about inconsistencies in logos in particular. That's just me. But I've seen, many people that on Facebook, they have a logo with one font, and on their website, they've got a logo with a different font, and on their business card, it's completely different again. So part of that is creating brand consistency across the board. And it's easy to do once you have your logo set in stone. So if you have that logo, you just want to make sure that you translate it to all the different places that it needs to go. So I'm just going to see, would anybody be willing to sort of share a couple of things that they can think of off the top of their heads that would be something that they know right now, just from hearing those things, that they would need to update? I don't know, I can't see everybody, so.
Well, here's kind of funny. I would say like my website and everything, I kind of did one of those sessions with Adara too, and just really identified like, all the things that I needed to fix. However, while you were talking, I glanced at my phone and I had somebody that has on my email list that I do not know said, "Is your Facebook group still open? Because I've been trying to get in on it and it's an error." And so, which is so funny, I actually shut down my Facebook group because I just don't like Facebook groups, I guess. So I thought the timing was really funny because she's like, "I've been clicking on it," and she's like, "I'm finding so much value in the emails that you're sending me, and I'd really love to be part of your group." So maybe this is something I need to rethink.
So there you go, perfect example. And it cost you nothing to do that. That's the best part.
Yeah.
That's what I like about these self audits is they, you know, a lot of the stuff you can just take care of yourself. Easy peasy. Does anybody else?
I do have a question. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, I guess I want to know, does everybody like Facebook groups?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I started one too.
Can you put it, I guess, can you put it in the chat? Put it in the chat.
You guys are in my Facebook group. Hi.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I asked this question. I'm gonna jump in. I asked this question. It's connection. I
Yeah.
want to hang out specific and value. So I don't want to manage one, but I want to hang out with Adara, and I want to hang out with Sharon Rose, and there's another lady I hang out with. That's big.
I agree with you on that, Laura.
that's where I stand.
Yeah. So at any rate, if you once had a Facebook group and you don't anymore, they definitely want to make sure that it's really closed and that people know. So, and there's part of doing the audit is, are people still getting misinformation through like an email?
Through an email. Yeah. So put on my list. Need to check my email. My automated email sequence.
We all learn because we don't look at our own stuff often enough. I had somebody tell me just the other day that my phone number is not on my invoices. That's not a good thing. So I need to fix that. But, you know, again, that's an important part when someone says, well, I want to phone you and pay by credit card. Yes, I would like to get paid. I mean, as much as I like to give my time, I do need to make a living at the same time. Is there one more person that maybe share?
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
My website is theurbanoasis.info. And my son was trying to share my website with somebody else that's a marketing guru, this young guy. And he says, I can't find your mom. When I type in the Urban Oasis, it goes to Cancun, it goes to all these other places. She's not existent. So, because I don't have a .ca or .com at the end of it, it's .info. But when I searched separately and put in South Surrey, it came up right away. It was the first search. But how do so I've done all my branding. I love all my business stuff. I love my website. I love everything. So how do I fix that without going into everything is just so beautiful?
So that is anything search related. The best person to talk to for that would be like an SEO digital marketing type expert. Now SEO, just as a quick, is a long game. So anytime you get those emails, just as an FYI, that says, oh, we can get you ranking #1 and all this stuff, and it looks like it came from another country, ignore those emails, please, please, please. If you really want someone to do a good job, you need to talk to somebody that can do more than just SEO for you, because SEO on its own is a really long game. It doesn't work miracles in an instant. It did 10 years ago when not everybody had a website and there was fewer websites. Nowadays, you need SEO combined with other online marketing efforts, and that's what will help to get your traction going. But as far as searchability, that's one part of it. The other thing is you've obviously got a domain name that is very popular in terms of the keywords of other really amazing things in the world too. They're just not the same as yours. So that's where you need someone to actually help you get found easier. And I'm not an expert in that area. I do know people that are. So if you do want to reach out to me privately, I can connect you with somebody that can give you a little more insight. And he's also very affordable and lovely to work with. So if you're interested, I'm happy to make that connection.
Sure.
And just at least ask the question. Whether you work with him or not, he'll be happy to answer.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. I don't want to change anything.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Okay. So like I said, those are the things that anybody that's, you know, kind of getting ready for that next step of, you know, we're coming into 2021 really quickly. So it's a perfect time now to do that audit. I don't know about everybody else here, but we're in our busiest season of the year in the fall, which I suspect a lot of you are as well. So it's hard to find the time. So this is the important part. We need to actually make the time. So why do these buttons not want to work? I didn't even go to that slide. See, I got to learn all these things. So the last thing that we need to look at is making the time to do stuff. So, you know, we all have to do it. Every single one of us has to do this review. Some of us will have very minor things to tweak. Some of us will have lots of things to tweak over a course of time. So I'm going to challenge you all to take 1 minute right now and actually go in, where's my notes, other notes here, go into your calendar or your day planner, whatever it is, and schedule a time or two where you will commit to making some of these updates, finishing the audit, whatever it is that you need to do, so that you're now accountable for doing that. So I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds to just plan that out. Look in your calendars, which are probably busy for the next while. And then what you need to do is the second step, which you can do when you've got a moment after the call, which I would recommend doing tonight before you completely put your computers and phones away, is to actually put a couple of things in those blocks of time. So if you scheduled, let's say 60 minutes for Tuesday next week, what are the things that you need to do? So I need to connect with photographer. I need to renew my website. I need to shut down my Facebook page, and just make a quick little list of the things that you need to do and who you might need to contact. Because again, there are lots of things we can do ourselves, but sometimes we do need help. So again, I don't know how to take good photos, so I got to get in touch with Linda and say, okay, let's do this. I don't know how to do my own search engine optimization, so I'm going to call Leyland. So those little things, just quick little list, what you actually need to do so that you know you'll take action on it. These are just the little action steps that get you excited about making the change. I know for myself, once I started actually getting into it, I got super psyched, like I did when I started my business. I was like, yeah, I'm building my first website for myself. I'm, getting all the information. I'm super excited. But it takes actually that first step of action to get you into it. It's like going into a workout. You don't want to do it, and then you get a few minutes in and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm enjoying this. And then you feel good about it when you're all done. Okay. So now I guess the last thing to sort of do on this call is I would like to actually know from a few of you either what action you're planning to take or what your key takeaway is. And if everybody is willing to share one thing, that would be so amazing. And then the only other thing I'm going to ask of you ladies this evening is for any kind of feedback. Like I said, I've never done this before. I had no idea how long it would really take. And so, I planned 45 minutes. It's actually quite a bit under that. So anything that you guys would either like to further know about or any other exercises, I'd love any feedback once we go through your key takeaway or your action steps. So should I just pick people, or do people want to volunteer? What do you normally do, Adara?
Oh, it's sharing time. I was just trying to figure out how we could see everybody's faces. Let me see.
I can actually stop the screen share if we want to go back into gallery view.
So your question was, what is like a one takeaway that we're going to get on?
Either share a takeaway or one action item you're going to do in terms of working on your business by doing this audit.
Well, the audit sounds boring, Christy. I'll be honest. I don't want to do it, but I do know that when I do it, I do see things that come up that are like missing links. Sometimes I change like the name of my website URL. So yeah, and obviously that all looks really bad. Like I'm such a judgy McJudgerfee when I go to someone's website and it's not web friendly. When I click a link and it takes me nowhere. When you're right, their products like oh man, I was just working with someone today. Jackie's here. She's right here. God, I was working with this girl today, and she had so many products, and I was like, but like why, and it's like, why don't we just like hone it in to like something that you can manage, because everything that you have on there that you say you sell, you need to market, So 3, 2, or 1 things is kind of where I'm sitting with that. Anyway, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get the hell off LinkedIn because I don't like it. I don't know. Anybody else?
There you go. All right. I'm just going to call names out. I'm going to kind of say, okay, so I'm going to go by what I see next. So Sharon Rose, you're next on my list.
Okay, great. Well, I guess I have been working a lot, like maybe obsessively on my website. And I actually just sent a bunch of stuff off to the Fiverr guy again to fix up like a few more things that I saw. But yeah, that was kind of ironic timing about the automated email sequence. So I will fix that. And like I said, I do have a couple of things that are being fixed on the queue, and I do not recommend hiring somebody off Fiverr to build a website. I will say that. However, it is what it is. The only thing is, I guess, like I have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And when I look at some of the people in my industry that are really rocking it, they have like their YouTube, either their podcast or their YouTube videos, like actually going on their website. But I just wondered how important that really is versus, like, I feel like it's maybe a next step thing.
It's very easy to do. When you're ready to do it, it's very easy to do. You just have a simple embed code or a link, depending on what kind of site you have. And yeah, I would put them on your site for sure.
Nothing is easy on my site. It's a Bluehost and WordPress site, and the setup with this Elementor thing. And for the life of me, neither Dara or I could figure out how to, like this. I can do very little updating myself.
Message me. I can help you with that.
Okay. Okay.
I can give you a quick like 15-minute how-to.
Is it possible I'm locked out?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. You shouldn't be if you have admin access, but yeah, I can definitely like take a quick look at it for you if you'd like.
Okay, that would be awesome.
All right. Okay, Laura Burns, you're next.
Thank you, Chrissy. I am a little bit new to the game. I play around really basic stuff on my website. You're right. Like, I like the idea of making this list of where I like to play. Yeah, I'm going to judge the heck out of LinkedIn. It's nothing but scam city. Everybody's, I'm rethinking that too. However, I don't know. What I want to know, and this is I'm going to go into a Q&A in this, like if I'm setting up some healthy practices, like shave my legs on Friday night, that's what I want to know. Like, because the last thing I want to do is do all this is in my business. It's not playing. It's like clean the house, make it pretty, and then I can relax. So I just want to know how often do you regularly go and do an audit?
I would say twice a year would be great. Even once a year would be awesome. And it's just when it goes on for too long, like 3, 4, 5 years. It's always a good idea to just take a quick look over your website once a week, once every 2 weeks, just to make sure everything's working. And you can do that in 5 minutes. Just quickly go through the pages. But an overall like look and feel, maybe once or twice a year is really all you need. Especially with print materials, because they're gonna want to last you a bit because we don't want to waste trees, right? But yeah, that's really all you need to do. And then whatever you don't want to do, that's what you farm out to others. Okay, Cynthia.
Oh, I'm next. So I recommend hiring you.
Thank you.
Because I didn't do any of this. I don't do websites. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm not even creative at all as far as artistic. So I hired you. You did my logo. You helped me pick my colors and these are my business cards.
I love those guys.
They are super pretty with a really nice edge color and my logo. So beautiful.
Ooh, lovely.
I love it. My website has been redone because I wanted it lighter. It was very dark and black before, and now it's all light and fluffy. And yeah, I just think that you did an amazing job. And it wasn't hard. So as far as audit goes, I just thought I need to change, and I called you, and you did it all for me.
Actually, one thing I'll quickly say, because Cynthia and I did this earlier this year, when I first met Cynthia, she, at that point, her style was very black and white and modern. And then she realized as she got into it, it actually really wasn't. So that's another thing. It happens to all of us. I mean, we like a certain style of clothing for a while, and then we move on to the next. So that, again, when you start to feel that change coming, that's a good indicator that it's time to start looking. And especially when you're removing something or adding something, that's a good point to say, okay, I got to get this up and going. So thank you, Cynthia, for all your kind words. Okay, who is next? So I have Linda H up next.
Oh, I'm unmuted. Well, ironically, today I did a big go through my website, and I added in some things. I changed my program because I realized that in order for somebody to become a Reiki master like myself, it's a lot more time involved in doing that. So I added in a whole new program, And so I went through and kind of revamped things, and was quite satisfied just prior to the meeting with where it was at. So the only thing that I've got, on my list is being able to find myself easier. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with where things are at. I was going to ask if we could have everyone put their website on Adira's page, so we can all look at each other's website and maybe offer feedback.
Mm-hmm. It's a great idea.
A helpful thing to do, and then we can learn more about each other.
I like that idea.
And critique what you did for Cynthia.
No problem. No, it's good.
That's great. So why don't we do that? And then it's good, just good to know what we all do, right?
I agree. Great idea.
Are we putting that in the group or in the chat?
Let's do it in the group. I'll start a link like I did for the Instagram. I was going to say quickly too, like with Cynthia, yes, she could change her why or a bit of her story or something if she wanted. But for the most part, she's a mortgage broker. So like nothing's really going to sort of change there. Mind you, she might grow out of the look she has in however many years. But for right now, it fits her perfect. But for some of us, we're always growing and evolving and changing and offering something different. And so it might be good, though, to work with someone like Christy or some sort of like do-it-yourself site. And I know Christy does sell a package like that where you can get a site that you can tweak and work on. But what would be really helpful is to have brand colors, to have like some really nice branded sort of like themed photos and lines. And she did all this for me. So my stuff, I think, looks really lovely, even though I use a DIY site because I change up my products all the time. So just even to have like a color palette and fonts that you use and all of these things is so helpful to make you look consistent with your look and feel.
Yeah, your brand guidelines are really, really important to have. And it helps us too, just to know, especially if you bring people on to work with you, like a team member or even like an EA part-time, the more they can know about your brand, the more they can be your brand with you. So, and I know, so Linda Mackey, you're next on my list, and I know you know all about brand. Oh, you're still muted though. I don't think I can unmute. There we go.
I just posted something in the group. I do, like I said, I do branding photography, and then I'm starting to do more like, well, it's part and parcel of what I do anyway, because you get, images that you can use in your printed materials, but also in your web materials, and that includes social media and all that stuff. So I've kind of created two questionnaires, sort of, and guides that help you through to figure out all this stuff. So let's figure out how you want to be seen in your portrait photography, and then how do you want to be seen on a regular basis, like in your social media. So that's really cool. And it just reminded me all this stuff, like all the tools that I'm actually not using right now. So it's like the broken links and the website and updating the photos and, I'm not sure about I'm not sure about LinkedIn either, because I know it's kind of like, I think I should be there, but I keep hearing bad things about it. So I'm like, I'm not really sure about it. And I don't spend a lot of time there, even though that's probably where my clientele are. So I don't know. I have to research that a bit more.
Yeah. Christy and I went on a LinkedIn challenge for the week. We had to spend 10 minutes a day on there since last week. And I didn't do it the whole week until today. And I was like, I got to get at least like 30 minutes in. And I was in there for like 5. And I was like, I hate this platform. I didn't know who any of the people were. And I was like, what am I doing in here? Anyway, it's not a place that I felt was for my people, but interestingly enough.
And that's a big part of it. Don't play where you don't want to. Just because somebody says you need to be on LinkedIn doesn't mean you have to be on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Well, most people find me through Google or word of mouth, which I'm happy with, and
exactly.
That's the best. LinkedIn, but yeah, it's a good reminder, because I do this. I guess I have done this, but I not the way you labeled it, kind of thing. But you just go in and like I go on to the other thing is going on directories, because I'm listed in all these directories, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like I've gone to them and I'm like, oh my God, that's wrong and that's wrong and that's wrong. Like, have to update all that, because that's really important. Like you said, like people are trying to find you, but if it's not consistent across the board, so that's pretty key, I think too.
And especially in your line of work, Linda, anywhere that there's a link to you, it's important for them to know what your forte is. Like if someone was coming to you and said, oh, I want photos of my house, that's not what you love to do. So you want the right people coming to you. And that's a big part of why we all need to have our message and our brand look and feel out there that makes sense for us. So we attract the right people. I very strategically picked this blue and pink for Flying Horse because it resonated with us. And I still, this website's 3 years old. I still get compliments on it to this date. So those are attracting the right people. We're all meshing. Okay, so I've got Jackie W next on my list.
Jackie!
So I guess first of all, as far as like website stuff goes, I'm completely lost and I'm getting better at understanding what I have to do. So I'm hoping to turn that around. As far as LinkedIn, when I was a teacher, that was how I found all my jobs as an international teacher, was on LinkedIn. But 2/3 of the people who contacted me were guys wanting, you know, from me. So I left. So I actually was invited to this new one that's just started. It's called Be Connected, and it's amazing. Like I have 6 to 10 calls a week from this new one. And I didn't say this earlier today, Derek, because I completely forgot till just now when you guys are talking about LinkedIn. I'm like, yeah, I hate LinkedIn, but Be Connected is a good option. So I don't know if anybody wants to try that out as a platform. So it's really nice. So you make your little profile for yourself, and then there's a connection generator. So it connects you with people that you're looking for, and then you can message them and say, hey, I'm interested in talking to you about what I do and learning more about what you do. Let's connect. And then
That's
you
really
can
cool.
schedule, and then it asks you like how you want to connect through Messenger, through Zoom, or whatever, and then you can do that.
Very cool.
So yeah, so I can send that to you.
I would
Yes,
like to say
that
something
is
about
me having a party because I'm in Tim Hortons right now because we have no Wi-Fi in Mill Bay. We have no electricity right now. So.
Oh no.
Are you still in Ladysmith?
No, I'm in Duncan.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
I would like to say something about LinkedIn. I will tell you this, that 100%, if you post on LinkedIn, 100% of who you're connected to sees your post. It comes up in their feed. Currently with Instagram and Facebook, it's 6%.
That's crazy.
So
Well, I was just gonna say I ran an ad for a gal on LinkedIn over the past week, and we had like 10,000 views, and I paid 0.001 cent per eyeball, and I was like, that's amazing. Like you cannot get sort of those stats anymore in Instagram and Facebook, and nobody converted to a freaking thing. So
well, there is a real strategy behind LinkedIn, and I did the same thing. I sat through a 5-day thing for like 2 hours a day, and the guy gave away like his entire formula, spreadsheets, the whole thing. And if you're going to do it, I think you have to have a plan and a formula, and I think you need to have a VA doing a lot of it.
right.
But I think there's opportunity there. It's just like you said, though, you have to go where you're comfortable and where you want to. But I did want to put it in perspective that your stuff is going to be seen. So if you are making good connections, they're going to see your stuff. Whereas on Instagram, the chances are not that great.
Nope. Not great.
But as I always believe, social media is not the top of the funnel anyway. So it's the middle of the funnel. It's warm leads, not hot leads.
Okay, so I have 2 more people I see.
Sorry.
Deanne, you're next on my list, and then I have 1 more person, except for Adara, you're gonna go dead last. Oh no, you already went, never mind.
Yeah.
Anyways, good to see you, Deanne. It's been a while.
Yes, nice to see you too. Well, I am a typical entrepreneur whose business as a spa consultant and a distributor and the owner of a spa brand keeps getting in the way of my passion, which is beyond the mirror, helping people from the inside out. And because of that, I need to work now, and I am working now on my landing pages because I've been asked to do a lot of events, and some of them, one of them is face-to-face, and every woman has her own 6-foot table. How's that? So finally, a face-to-face that's safe, right?
Hey.
It's exciting. So yes, I really need to focus on that. I created a a Facebook ad for this event that was coming up, and it had a lot of great pieces, and I see now that it had a lot of missing pieces. And I also see that a missing part of the funnel was the landing page, and that's in the works. So I really have, you know, Adira knows, I mean, I have so much to offer. I'm a 5-time best-selling author now, and I just need to put it into action. So that's me.
Perfect. Yeah, it's all about just kind of blocking that time off. And it's so hard when you've got so much on the go.
That's so true.
Story of all of our lives.
I did want to say that with regards to Instagram, that the top world-class spa consultants, et cetera, if that's who I want to reach, that's where I go. If I were a therapist, that would not be where I would be looking for business or contacts, but the people at the upper echelon of the spa industry, and in any way, certainly are connectable there, and that's where I go when that's who I want to reach.
Awesome. Cool. All right, Lynn. I can get Lynn, if you're able to unmute yourself, if you've got any piece, or you don't have to share, but if you'd like to share one little thing, that would be awesome.
I think
Adira, are you able to unmute her?
I think it's my fault.
There we go.
Hi, Lynn.
I can't hear her.
What is happening?
I don't know. It says she's unmuted.
It says it's unmuted. Yeah, it says it's unmuted. Nothing, hey? I wanted you guys to meet Lynn. She's new to the group. Lynn, you're mute. What the heck?
That's weird.
Oh, hi. Oh. Okay, well, you're just going to have to do a little live video inside the Light Finder leaders and tell us all about you.
Aw.
I can't believe I can hear you. That's so strange. Is your volume up? Are you on your phone? I feel like you're on your phone. Is your silencer on or? Bah. Okay. Well, anyway.
Weird.
No, can't hear a thing. Sound nuts. Okay.
Okay. Well, we tried. Technology
Yeah.
always work for us, unfortunately. Okay, well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight and listening. And I've already got some ideas of some things I want to tweak myself. I'm happy if anybody has any further connections. I'm happy to help, especially, you know, there was a few questions around SEO and getting better found on Google, and I can certainly share some pointers to help with, you know, managing the content on your website. I'm happy to do that. Just to help out. If you guys know of anybody that, you know, is interested in getting an audit done. So, you know, there's some people that want to do it big time, and there's some people that want to do it themselves. I do have, this is the offer that I do usually put out once a quarter to do a, like a complete audit. So I would go through and do all that work for the company. And I'd also come back with a ton of different feedback, suggestions, and help them with a variety of different things. So this is something, again, this is just going to be part of what I put out for when I do this next time. But again, it's something that I do offer. This is my email address, Christy@flyinghorsedesignstudio.com. You can easily find me on Facebook in the Light Leaders group. I'm not the best at going on Facebook daily, but I do try to check it once a day. If you want to message me on Messenger, any questions, anything I can help with, I'm always happy to chit chat. I love getting to know people and learn from people, and hopefully share some of my wisdom with people in the process as well. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you guys a little bit more in the group and on social media. Maybe not LinkedIn so much by the sounds of it.
We totally dumped on LinkedIn tonight, didn't we? Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to. Something's changed in there. It's just not the same. Okay, so for all you light leaders except for Deanne, you're not in our group, but you could be, and but the rest of you are. And I just wanted to let you know that the Light Leaders group is for us to talk business, share each other's websites, get feedback, be each other's like go team, and look at stuff before it goes out to the public. And the Light Finders group, actually Laura's going to help me, and we're going to create it as more of a community and a resource center for people to find good products and great people that do good work in the world. I don't know if I need to name it something different, but that's where you can promote your work. So there's 500 people in that group, and you're welcome to go in there a couple times a month and promote something free you have to offer, or do anything that you feel you'd like to share.
Is
Yes,
this
yeah.
Facebook groups?
Yeah, these are free Facebook groups. Yeah. And
I want to add something in, Adira, because we were talking earlier about, you know, LinkedIn and all these things. And here's the thing. If you want to target anybody on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, I am suggesting just to sit with the intention that you want to attract people or want to get a direct contact with anybody in the world. You can make that happen if you have the right intention. I'm not kidding. That's just a given. It's
I wish that worked for me. I really wanted to meet Gerard Butler back in the day, and it happened.
Well, I
So
have recently reached out to some pretty famous people, and they've responded. So it can happen. You just have to have that intention. Just try it. Just try it out.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah, we're very, very powerful people. We have, I mean, it's mind-boggling how we actually are in this world, how our cells vibrate, how we have a universal orbit around us, and our cells we have 50 trillion cells within us, and then, you know, we are vibrating and rotating around the universe, and the universe is rotating, and the earth is rotating, and everything is spiraling, and just sending your intention out, you can manifest really whatever you want.
True.
I manifested a website the other day. It was incredible. I'm like, I'd like to get one more website booked for 2020. And I kid you not, 15 minutes later, there was an inquiry in my inbox from a client saying, I've got a new one for you.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, I'm an absolute believer in that.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, I'm just going to stop the recording. Thank you, and then we can say goodbye. Thank you so much, Christy, for your time today and sharing your wise wisdom with us. And if you would like to book audit with her, you know where to find her. Okay, that's that. And what else? I guess we can all go. I mean, it's 8 o'clock. We did great. That was a whole hour. Boom! Woo! Okay, so I think for our next